What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be breaking down and reviewing The Flash Season 7, Episode 7. But before we get started, make sure that you guys like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment any other video ideas for me. So we start off with a scene of Barry, Iris, and the Speed Force having breakfast, and this is where the Speed Force starts to get a bit annoying, as she says she should follow Barry to his crime scene, and also that she's boosting Barry's speed. She talks about that, so maybe the theory of her being a villain somehow starts here. I'm not really sure. So then Cecile explains to Frost that she needs to lay low so she doesn't get arrested by Kristen Kramer and the state government. So anyways, the crime scene Barry goes to is done by the new villain we know as Chillblaine, as he uses his ice to steal some chip from a truck. Then comes Kristen Kramer, who automatically assumes that this was done by Killer Frost. So yeah, then at that same crime scene, there's just more and more proof of Killer Frost being presented as a criminal. Obviously there's a lot of evidence because obviously she ended up being framed. But also at the crime scene, the Speed Force ends up showing up out of nowhere, and she helps Barry find out what really happened. However, this is also when Barry's powers start to, fritz out again, I guess, because he just ran around the crime scene and almost gave himself away as the Flash. Then at a bar, we get our first look at Chillblaine, who is talking to Frost. But then Frost sees on TV that there is a $100,000 reward for her arrest, and it looks like she's about to get in a fight with a bunch of people at a bar. So then yes, obviously that fight does happen, and Frost easily wins, but with the help of Chillblaine, however. It actually seemed like the two of them even liked each other a little bit, which I did not expect to happen whatsoever. Then back at Barry's lab, the Speed Force shows up again, and she senses that Barry is very frustrated, as once again Barry's powers go crazy and he runs all around his lab, basically destroying a bunch of evidence. This made me really think that this is like the Speed Force was a villain, like she was trying to make it so Barry destroyed that evidence, but it wasn't exactly like that for the rest of the episode. So then CCPD gets a new location on Frost, as she is looking for the new ice villain that maybe purposely or accidentally framed her. We find out that it was purposely later in the episode, that person obviously being Chillblaine that she's trying to find. But then a little twist, Joe arrests Caitlin and calls her Killer Frost, even though they are no longer in one body. It's really looking like he was forced to do that, however, or maybe he had some plan that will make everything work out in the end, but obviously we find out later that he was indeed forced to do that. So then as Caitlin is being held for questioning, Frost calls Cecile's phone and says she's going to break Caitlin out, but then Caitlin talks her out of it after Frost says that she knows who framed her. So then Barry and Iris talk about the Speed Force being Nora and how it's basically affecting Barry. I thought that was a pretty good scene. It was pretty emotional as well. So then Frost confronts Chillblaine at the bar, and we find out that he knows that Caitlin and Frost used to be one person. Obviously, he also says that basically he's been watching her for years, so basically he's a stalker. I thought this was kind of interesting because Chillblaine, I really did not expect him to be this type of villain. I thought he was going to be like, sort of like, like Psych. We know he's coming back in episode 10. I thought Chillblaine, might actually like reappear, but it looks like this might be the only episode that he ends up appearing in, unless they want to, kind of go that Captain Cold route once again, where they make him kind of reappear every 5 or 6 episodes, just like they did in season 1. I definitely think that could be cool to see if Chillblaine ends up doing that. So anyways, after Chillblaine reveals how he knows all this stuff about Caitlin, he and Frost get into a battle, which Frost does end up winning by stabbing herself in order to stab Chillblaine. So yeah, Frost ended up winning the fight. So my impression of Chillblaine after this episode, I thought he was alright, I guess. I thought he was going to be a little bit more threatening, because he really was not threatening whatsoever. He lost to Killer Frost. He didn't even fight the Flash at all. So I thought that was kind of stupid, but I guess he was an alright villain. But then at the bar, the cops show up and Frost is actually willing to turn herself in, and she does. But something Allegra said that was that prison doesn't make better people. Maybe this is like a teaser that the showrunners decided to throw in, that when maybe if and when Frost goes to prison, she might come out as a villain again. Honestly, I think that would be awesome to see her as a villain again, and I really hope they do that, because honestly, I really don't like Frost's character as a hero. I kind of really liked her as a villain. She was a pretty good secondary main villain in season 3. So then at the end, we see Barry talking to the Speed Force again, and this is basically just him, accepting that she's not the same as the old Speed Force that he had previously interacted with, and that he's going to, continue to live on with that stuff. But yeah, if you guys don't know, The Flash is now going on a 3-week break, so the next episode will not be until May 4th, so we do have to wait a little while for episode 8 to come out, but my trailer breakdown for that episode will be out tomorrow, so make sure that you guys are on the lookout for that. But anyways, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment your thoughts on this video down below, as well as your thoughts on tonight's episode. I thought it was a pretty decent episode, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.